What's up, you guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today, as promised, I am going to be building a team revolving around this guy right here, this beautiful Prime Green Lantern Batman. Huge thanks to Noah for trading this to me. You know who you are, man. Thank you for helping me out, getting this figure, and helping me build some awesome teams and, make some awesome videos with him. So huge shout out to Noah. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the team build. So starting us off, of course, we're going to be using Batman here. Now, I have a version of this team where we play him at the full 100 points, which I'll talk about later, but we're going to start off with him at 25 points. You're probably going to end up seeing this guy at 25 points a lot on all kinds of team builds in the future going forward. But we'll take a look at why that is, because this guy is really, really amazing for only 25 points. So taking a look at his keywords here, you got Batman Family, Gotham City, Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, Cosmic, Detective, and Herald keywords. Tons of selection there. His awesome starting trait here in Darkest Night, Batman may have both the utility belt and the Green Lantern ring assigned and equipped at the same time. So this is not like, other effects where you get to start the game equipped for free. This is just letting him start assigned and equipped with them at the same time. Now with the updated equipment rules, you can just start assigned with an object, start equipped with it. You don't have to go out there and pick it up or anything. So that just lets him be assigned with both at the same time. But since this isn't just, starting the game equipped, basically bringing something in from outside the game at the start of it, he's not going to be able to kind of cheat the, unique object rules. So you won't be able to put the utility belt or the Green Lantern ring on any other characters if you put them both on him. But again, with the new rules, he gets both of those for free since he has Batman Family keyword as well as Green Lantern Corps keyword. So for 0 points, you can get both of those equipped, which is amazing. Then he has a special which gives him Smoke Cloud and Smoke Cloud as free, but only to generate one marker. And then opposing characters occupying or adjacent to Batman's Smoke Cloud markers can't use improved movement and must break away as if they were adjacent to Batman. So that's, really good. Free Smoke Cloud is always great if you have stealth, which of course he does being Batman. He has the team ability to give him stealth, but also, being able to, force people to break away from his smoke clouds is another really good use for that, because you don't just want to smoke under him all the time. Sometimes you want to shoot it out and put it under somebody else, locking down their team into having to roll breakaway. And since there is an option to get plasticity from the utility belt, that will, make it a lot harder for them to break away. So that's a really powerful effect to have, just for free. It's really nice, even for one square. And then he has this special defense power, which he will not have at the 25-point line, but it gives him invincible and willpower, and when he uses willpower and succeeds after resolutions, he gets +1 to all of his combat values, which is great, and it is fun to play him at 100 points for that. So he's got pretty awesome, dial there for 100 points, but we're just going to be looking right here at the 25 line. So he's got 7 movement with phase teleport, 10 attack with that free smoke cloud special, 17 defense with barrier, 2 damage with outwit. You've got the Batman team ability and the Green Lantern team ability with a whopping 7 range. Flight also, so he's going to be able to carry up to 8 characters with that with that Green Lantern team ability, and then he's going to have stealth with the Batman team ability. So you just carry 8 characters with phase teleport, 7 squares. He can barrier if he has to. He can free smoke to either block your opponent and stop them from moving, or just put it under him or somebody else to get the stealth going. And a 7 range outwit is really good, especially going forward, because we do know that they are going to be shortening range values and shortening the maps going forward. If you guys don't know about that, I have a video explaining a lot of that, so go ahead and check that out. But then we have just a quick look here at the Green Lantern ring that he can start equipped with. So that will give him willpower. If he can already use it, he gets +1 to the result. And then you have the power action to generate a construct. If no construct generated by that character was on your force this turn, you can generate a green one specifically. If they have the keyword, it's a free action instead. So he's going to be able to take a free action to generate any of the constructs, and he will have normal willpower. So he won't have, he gets +1 to this one, but just at 25 points, he does get normal willpower from the ring. So don't forget to be rolling that willpower. He can keep moving around or keep, barriering up or whatever must be done. But yeah, so you got that. And the just ability to make free constructs is is amazing. For only 25 points, you know, he can drop the green chainsaw that has a 10 attack with flurry and blades claws. You can drop the green cowboy boot that's got, you know, giant reach with a 10 attack, 2 damage, close combat expert. So it's 11 for 3 with giant reach and can knock people back, which again is going to be huge when we get knockback damage coming back here soon. So yeah, you got a lot of good options. You can also make a stop sign, which can also stop people from using improved movement abilities, as well as be another source of barrier. So for only 25 points, he's bringing in 2 barriers essentially, which is insane. Which, you know, maybe it's not going to be that insane, but we'll have to see how that goes, because with the changes to super strength and the terrain rules, somebody could just kind of pick up the barrier marker and smack you with it, which is pretty nuts, but you know, it's pretty cool too. Maybe we put somebody on this team with super strength to take advantage of that. We'll have to find out here in just a moment, but here's the utility belt. You know, you put it on this card, and then you see on the back of it, there's all the effects you can get, free smoke cloud. So you can get potentially 7 markers, from 1 from him and 6 from this if you land here on the smoke cloud. Or there's the plasticity I was talking about that can help lock people up. And then you also get range combat expert, which is good because, you know, he's only got a 10 attack, 2 damage. So that would at least give him an 11 for 3, which makes him a pretty good ranged attacker with 7 range. Then you also got the improved movement characters and shape change, which is nice. You do have phasing, so it's whatever, but the shape change is always good. Regeneration and support. Support just got a huge upgrade, so you could take a power action to heal somebody, basically roll like a regen roll. You just heal them equal to half the d6, which is great. You don't have to make the attack roll for support anymore, so I think the first aid kit could actually see a lot of play with him now. He just has so much utility. I mean, like, just look at everything he can do. Between the barrier, the outwit, the smoke cloud, everything he could potentially do here with another free smoke, supporting somebody, you know, getting shape change, getting range combat expert to make attacks, whatever, you know, lots of crazy stuff, on top of, you know, having willpower to keep going and doing that kind of stuff every turn, carrying everybody around, barriering, outwitting, and you've got the take a free action to make whatever construct you need, give everybody energy shield with the mitt, make attacks with the chainsaw, barrier up with the stop sign, remove barrier with the fire hydrant, lots of crazy stuff that all those can do. So a lot of explaining for him, but if you guys didn't already know, he is amazing. It's just so good. There's like I just spent like 10 minutes talking about everything he can do. So yeah, he's amazing. 25 points only is just crazy. So moving on, next we're going to be pairing him with another 25-point character, and that's the new Chase Robin from the same Batman team-up set. And this dude is also pretty insane for only 25 points himself. I don't think he gets enough credit, honestly. Paired with this Batman, there's a pretty crazy amount of stuff he could do. So he's got a trait that just says, once per turn for all characters with this trait, when an adjacent friendly character named Batman is given a move, close, range, or power action, after resolutions, you may give Robin the same type of action as free. Basically, anytime, you know, Batman here would take a power action to use barrier or something, Robin could take a power action for free to use charge, or if we equip him with a ring, wink wink, which is totally what we're going to do, he can also then take the power action as free to also, you know, make a free construct himself. So there's really cool synergy there. He also has police team ability as well as Batman for the stealth, but the police team ability is going to come in handy. We're going to be making quite a few range attacks with this team, and he's got a pretty solid dial here. Only 25 points. You got 8 movement charge, 11 attack, 17 with combat reflexes, and 2 damage with close combat expert. So we're talking 12 for 3 up close with a 4 range also if he needs to make a range attack randomly. He gets some plasticity and willpower there, 5 clicks of health with stealth as well. He's going to be a 19 defense up close with that combat reflexes, only 25 points. And the PD team ability, being able to do stuff for free whenever Batman does something, that's insane. Plus, he can then take his own action to, you know, charge or punch somebody or whatever. So I'll talk about all the stuff I'm going to equip him and others with later. But moving on, this, maybe I don't think I made this clear at the beginning. This isn't going to be a Batman family team. This is actually going to be a detective theme team. Because up next, another 25-point character we have here is the Commissioner Chase from Wonder Woman 80th. This dude I thought was insane for 25 points when he came out, and now he's going to be paired with these other amazing 25-point detective Batman family type characters. So taking a look at what he can do here, we've got the Secret 6 trait, which gives him Outwit. And if he attacks, he gets +1 attack when attacking one or more characters with a shared keyword. And the rest of that doesn't matter because he's not on a Secret 6 theme team. But still, traded Outwit and potential +1 attack when attacking shared keyword is nice. Improved targeting for hindering is also really good for his Outwit, which means he'll be able to outwit, through hindering. I think it's going to be able to outwit other stealthy characters, essentially, which is really, really useful. He's got another trait here that gives him a power action. That once per game, you can generate a rookie bystander that gains the police keyword, and I just so happen to have one here. Just a nice custom bystander token that was thrown in with this guy when I got another trade for him. I don't know if they want to shout out, but thanks for throwing in this token. That was awesome. So we got rookie. He's got 7 range double target, 10 movement running shot, 11 attack penetrating blast, 18 impervious, giant size with a 3 damage, and his special, which is on this card also, but we'll just look at it here. It gives him probability control, but only if the commissioner is within range and line of fire, protected Outwit. So that gives us a good little probability control character who's also got Batman and PD team abilities as well. So really, really awesome. Just bystander there that he can make just for taking a power action. It gives us another really good range attacker. And, this guy also has police team ability as well as the Robin. So we're going to be able to, really take advantage of that with some of these range attackers. If you guys don't know, the police team ability says when an adjacent friendly character makes a range attack, modify the target's defense -1 if the target is within line of fire of this character. So if this dude shoots and he can see the target as well, they get -1 defense, which makes them all that much easier to hit. Potential -2 with the Robin there as well. Then he's got this power, choose an adjacent friendly character that shares a keyword with the commissioner. Chosen character can make an attack using its printed combat values. After resolutions, if they missed all targets, give them an action token. So really solid, just give him a power action to give somebody else an attack. So that could be the rookie bystander, or that could be one of our other really good attackers we're going to take a look at here in a minute. But yeah, so 25 points. He starts with stealth, 9 attack with that special to take a power action to give somebody another attack, basically. 16 with mastermind, so that makes him really hard to actually hit and take care of, KO him because he can just transfer the damage. 2 damage with leadership, so he's going to be our leadership figure, which is going to be great. If he does randomly take like some poison or energy explosion damage or something like that, we're going to get some sidestep and enhancement, which can also come in handy. He also has the Underworld team ability, so he can actually carry somebody that he shares a keyword with. And there's no way he's going to carry 2 people at 25 points. But yeah, he can potentially carry somebody if he has to. So that's also worth noting, I think. So far we got a lot of good stuff going on for only 75 points. So I want to now bring in the really cool stuff, the kind of meat of the team that's going to be doing most of the attacking here. So let's start off with the big guns. We've got World's Finest, and we're going to be playing them at the 60-point line with their new legacy card. They are also freaking amazing, and I'm so glad that I hung on to these guys for all these years. So I just had to go out of my way to get their legacy card here. But taking a look at that, if you guys don't already know, they have this awesome trait. Well, you can read off the whole thing here, but basically if they're KO'd by an attack, they can replace themselves with a Batman and or a Superman off the sideline. Since they're 60 points, we're only going to be able to choose one Batman or Superman to replace them when they're KO'd. They will be KO'd and your opponent will score the points, just know that. But you will get a character to replace them, which is really, really nice still. And then you have this other trait here that says free, make an attack, but only to target an opposing character that since your last turn made an attack or used Outwit. That free attack is going to be huge. That's one of the main reasons I decided to play them, honestly, over some other people, besides the fact that they're just really, really good for 60 points. Then you have another trait here that says, when World's Finest would take damage from an effect of an opposing character of equal or less points than them, roll a d6 on a 4 through 6. World's Finest takes a maximum of 1 damage from that effect. So potentially reduces all damage to just 1 if they can get a 50-50 on that roll. For anybody equal or less points than them, which some standouts, of course, are going to be like Sicarian Iron Man's only 50 points, Sky Tyrant's only 50 points. You know, there's a lot of good like 50, 60 point characters in the game right now that they're going to be able to potentially only take 1 damage from. Then you have this special defense power here that gives combat reflexes, invincible, and super senses, but increases the result by +1 for each action token on World's Finest protected outwit. So you can't even outwit their awesome defense power, and then they could potentially get super senses +2 if they have 2 action tokens, meaning they would succeed on like a 3 through 6, which is pretty nuts. In addition to potentially only taking 1 damage. So even if they miss the super senses, they could still hit that 50-50 roll and only take 1 damage. But they also have invincible too. So they can reduce penetrating and only, you know, reduce 2 damage, even penetrating. So lots of good stuff there. Plus combat reflexes on that special as well, with the Batman team ability for stealth is pretty nuts. And you've got Superman team ability to see through hindering terrain as well. So yeah, 60 points. They only got 3 clicks of health, but they got a lot going on with that. Like I said, everything that's on that defense power, all those traits and everything. You've got a 9 movement charge with an 11 attack super strength with a 4 damage close combat expert. So we're talking 12 for 5 for only 60 points. That super strength is amazing. Like I said, you're going to be able to pick up terrain markers such as blocking terrain markers, elevated terrain markers, anything that's not smoke or water or debris. They're going to be able to pick that up and do at least a +1 damage with it. If it's one of the special terrain that we're going to be getting in the Spider-Man set coming out soon, could potentially get +2 damage or something with it. You know, with the close combat expert, they could be hitting for 7 damage for only 60 points. Is pretty nuts. So yeah, I like them a lot. They have huge damage potential. They're really hard to hit and actually deal damage to. And even if you do manage to KO them, they're going to be able to bring in somebody else off the sideline to kind of replace them and give you another character to work with. So super powerful figure. But moving on next here, next one I want to talk about is another legacy card character, and that is Batman Beyond. I know some people were kind of disappointed by his recent legacy card because it did change him a good amount. I won't say it changed him for the better. I wouldn't say that. I did really like the way he used to be. But, you know, it's not a bad change either. It's just different. I do like the upgraded point values a lot, though. So this guy has traded super senses. When he uses it, increase the result by +1 if the attacker was targeted with outwit since your last turn. So another really good super sense option there. He's got Precision Strike on his special attack power that says free make an attack, but only to target an opposing character that has been targeted with outwit this turn. Hit characters are dealt a maximum of 1 damage. So, you know, that's pretty awesome. Just outwit somebody and then free attack them for 1 with Precision Strike. Why not? Then you've got Outwit, and when Batman Beyond uses it, if he occupies hindering terrain, he may use it regardless of line of fire. So as long as they're within range, he can outwit them through characters, through walls, over elevated, doesn't matter. I really, really like that outwit power, and, you know, comboed with his super senses, getting +1 from it, and being able to make a free attack. You know, it all kind of flows really well together, I think, in my opinion. And we're going to be playing him at the 50-point line. You could play him at 75, you know, potentially if you really wanted that extra running shot, invulnerability, and everything. But the stats are basically the same, so I'm just running him at 50. Well, he's basically just going to be carried around, outwit something, and free attack anyway. So that's kind of the plan there. So we don't really need the extra, you know, running shot and everything. But, you know, if you guys don't have like the Chase Robin or the Chase Commissioner, you could always just add the 25 points onto this guy, give him that little bit of extra life and durability there with Invuln. And I think that would work out pretty well for you too, if you want to try that. So that's most of the team so far. I still got one more character and a few other things to take a look at. But as you can tell here so far, the team is basically carry everybody around with the Green Lantern team ability, get a free attack on somebody that attacked or used outwit, take a free action whenever Batman does something, and then take a free attack with him as well. And he can, you know, if he's not carried this turn, he can take a power action to make Rookie who can attack and yada yada. But anyway, that's there's a lot of free attacks after being carried. It's kind of one of my things. I really like to do that a lot. So last but not least, the last figure we're going to take a look at for the team is going to be the 75-point Batman convention exclusive with the little Jarro, Starro Robin guy there. So this dude is a lot of fun. I don't know why I haven't really heard anybody talk about him too much. I think he's really amazing, especially right now with all the like power cosmic and stop clicks and everything crazy going around. But this dude has, first of all, a trait here that says power, generate a Jarro bystander, max 1. Probability control, but only if Jarro isn't on the map. So he's going to be our main use of prob until we want to make our little Jarro guy, who, just quick reference, has sidestep and mind control with a range of 8, which is pretty nuts. He is tiny size, and he is also autonomous, which means his actions won't count against our action total for the turn. 11 attack with precision strike does combo with the mind control pretty well. And so yeah, sidestep and mind control 8 scores away is pretty nuts. But then he also has some outwit there as well, so you can adds another outwit to the team and some Batman team ability for the stealth as well. So yeah, he's great, but otherwise we just keep it for the prob unless we really need to pop him out for another outwit or that mind control. But then next up, he has a special attack power that says if Batman occupies printed hindering terrain, he has free make a close attack. Aha, there you go. The real reason he's here. Free make a close attack if he's in printed hindering terrain. So again, we're just going to be carrying everybody around with the Green Lantern team ability. If we can manage to plop him in hindering next to somebody, he's going to get a free close attack, which is great. Otherwise, next turn he can just like charge on somebody, hopefully in hindering terrain, punch them, and then get a free close attack on top of it. So either way, free close attack is great. And the other reason I like him a lot is this special, which completely disregard everything it says right here, because it actually got an errata. So it's much simpler to understand now. This doesn't really make any sense. Basically, it's just outwit, and then free, choose an opposing character within range and line of fire. They cannot use protected or safeguard outwit this turn or till your next turn or whatever. So yeah, super powerful effect. Basically, he can just turn off safeguard and protected outwit on somebody within his range and line of fire and then outwit them. And considering we have, this Batman Beyond here that can outwit regardless of line of fire potentially. This dude's got traded outwit on Commissioner here. We've got an outwit from this Batman. So we've got like 4 outwits. We could get a 5th one from Jarro if we really needed it, but 4 outwits is pretty darn good. And yeah, we got leadership prob on him, prob from him if need be. And we got pretty much checking all of our boxes here for, good supporting powers, as well as pretty decent attackers here, because he's got 6 range double target, 9 movement charge, 11 attack, 3 damage, 18 with toughness, at a whopping 75 points. So I just really like him a lot for the free attack, for the Jarro, and especially for turning off the protected and safeguard outwit. That means you can outwit stop clicks even on power cosmic characters. So those annoying characters going around right now like Apocalypse, Genesis, all them, you just outwit their stop click. You could use another outwit on their invuln and just, literally even Batman could one-shot them with 2 damage, which is pretty nuts. I mean, you still take Mystics, but whatever. Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid team, honestly, because of everything you can do after he carries everyone still. We can still take a free action to make a boot or a chainsaw or something to attack with. They can get a free attack if somebody used outwit or attacked last turn. He could potentially attack for free or generate a construct for free because I'm going to be putting a ring on him as well. He gets a free attack for outwit. He gets a free attack if he's in hindering. And he can take a power action to give any one of them another attack that turn. Not after being carried, sadly, but still. Anyway, so like I've said a few times, I'm going to be putting a ring on Robin, and I'm going to be giving him the Sinestro Core ring. You could also give him the blue ring if you wanted Empower, or really any of the rings. I wanted Perplex. Like I said, I got a lot of outwit, a couple of probs, a leadership, but we're missing some Perplex. So I want to give him this for the Perplex and for just the ability to take a power action to generate construct, and potentially, like I said, if Batman takes a power action for any reason, then he can take a free power action with his own trait to generate stuff with the ring as well. So pretty awesome combo there. And from there, we actually have 30 points left, and there's a few other characters you could put in if you wanted to. You could use the Legacy Question, would be a good use of the last 30 points. You could use the legacy Gordon. Commissioner Gordon would be a great use of 30 points if you wanted another leadership, another barrier, and some TK. Oh yeah, Question would get you another Outwit and the die replacement ability, which are both great options, and I was highly considering playing one of them, but I decided to just play 30 more points of equipment objects because why not? There's no longer a restriction to playing only 3 equipment objects on your team. I can assign everybody here an equipment object if I want to, so that's what I decided to go for. So I got the Wonder Woman bracelets as well for 10 points. This can go either on the World's Finest or on the Batman Beyond. They both already have super senses with potential to get a +1 or even +2 in their case. So that really just is up to personal preference who you want to give an additional +1 from the Wonder Woman team ability. I kind of am leaning towards World's Finest just to make them that much more ridiculous. But at the same time, I kind of want to give it to him to make him that much harder to hit because I feel like they're already so hard to deal with as it is. Giving him that extra layer of defense would be nice as well. But, you know, like I said, personal preference, I can go on either of them to make them ridiculous. Then I also really wanted to include the emotional modifier. I just really, really hate being mind controlled personally. You know, whether it be from the Legacy Thanos or from a Scarab that is all the way across the map with, you know, the radioactive clay or whatever it is that's equipped to somebody. I hate those combos, and just getting mind controlled from across the map sucks. So I thought, you know, emotional modifier would be nice, but you do have to be careful because if you choose Battle Fury, he can't carry everybody around anymore. So you do have to be careful about that one. You kind of have to carry everybody up, then choose Battle Fury, and then choose something else next turn, like -1 defense, so you can rush in with everyone or something. That could go on pretty much anyone. It really doesn't matter. That could go on Commissioner. That could go on, you know, whichever one of these two you didn't give the Wonder Woman bracelets to. That could go on this Batman. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, the emotional modifier could go on pretty much anybody you feel like. It doesn't really make a big difference. I would say Robin's the only one that needs the ring. One of those two needs the Wonder Woman bracelets. Emo mod can go on him, or the other one. So there's whatever option there. And then the last one is Red Wing. For another 10 points, I want to put Red Wing on somebody. This, once again, gives us a free action to make a bystander that also gives us another Outwit, as well as, you know, hypersonic 10 attack precision strike for 1 damage. So it's just another free attack after being carried, essentially. And that can go on anybody. That could go on this guy, so he can be like generating Jaro and Red Wing. It could go on Batman Beyond, and you can think about it like it's a futuristic high-tech bat, you know, drone or something, and not from Marvel, if you have any qualms about mixing Marvel and DC. Or again, it could go on old Commissioner here. Again, it doesn't really matter who that goes on. They just take the free action to drop the Red Wing that can also attack after being carried because, you know, it just got generated, and it gives you another Outwit for his shenanigans and his shenanigans. So yeah, I think it's pretty great. And then, you know, of course, you have all the different constructs you can make from both Batman and potentially Robin as well. So that's the team. That's what I've come up with and what I've kind of settled on for 300 points. Some other options, like I said, you know, Legacy Gordon, Legacy Question are great if you don't want to use all these objects. Another one, if, say, you don't have this guy specifically, 75 points, there's a couple other options you could use that are really good for 75 points. One of them, on a detective theme, is actually the Venom Wolverine. She fits the build very well, in my opinion, because when she has 2 action tokens, she can make a close attack. It's free. She's got giant reach. She's got 12 attack with blades and exploit top dial. So she also is a wild card, so she can wild card Batman team ability or police team ability, or even, you know, the Underworld team ability to carry people, Green Lantern team ability to carry people, Superman team ability, if probably not really necessary at all, but, you know, she can wild card lots of good team abilities from here. She's a really good close attacker as well, and like I said, you could just kind of move her, you know, give her an action token, then turn 2, move her again, carry everybody, and she has 2 action tokens, so she can make a free attack, regardless of where you put her. You don't have to put her in hindering like you do with this Batman, but you do lose out on all the cool, you know, outwit potential for outwitting Power Cosmic and stuff, but she is a very, very good option as well for 75 points. and a much cheaper option, because I know both of those are pretty expensive figures. So if you don't want to use either of them, you could use the 75-point Martian Manhunter. Again, this is a detective theme team, so he's a very good option. You could replace one of these equipment, like the Emo Mod or the Red Wing. You could replace one of them to give him a ring as well, like the red ring to give him poison, so he can just kind of walk around and not be targetable and poison stuff. Or you could give him the orange ring so he could, you know, actually hold people down with plasticity. And there's a quick look at his card. For 75 points, he starts with that special movement power where he basically just can't be targeted at all. And this is a team up card. I'm showing you this one because this is a detective theme team, and as long as we did have 2 characters named Batman originally, but if you take off that one and replace it with him for 75 points, you could use his team up card as well to give everybody outsiders on top of everything else they can already do. So I think this is another really solid option. Only thing I don't really like about using him in place of one of the other two is it just doesn't quite fit the theme of like carrying everybody around and hitting them with a bunch of free attacks. But, you know, he can just kind of walk over, do his own thing somewhere else, you know, hold half their team hostage and poison them, or just hold half of them with plasticity, or, you know, whatever. There's a lot of really cool things you could do with him, like I said, if you equip him with some of the rings, and giving everybody outsiders if you have the team up card as well would be great. So those are other options, and the other final option you could do is just play him at 100 points. If you just wanted to bump him up to full for fun, I think he's probably better at 25 just because everything he does for 25. But for 100, I mean, he's not bad. He's a really good range attacker. He could potentially get +1 all stats by himself and, you know, be shooting with like a 13 attack, 5 damage or something, which is pretty nuts. It would be better if he had, like, you know, improved targeting, hindering, or something like most of the rest of this team does. He has it, they have it also. So he'd be the only one that really couldn't see through hindering besides Robin. But regardless, he makes a really good range attacker if you play him at the full 100. And you can still do the exact same team setup here, basically. Just carry everybody around. You still have enough people here to equip with all 4 of these objects if you still want to go that route. Or you could take off some of them and, you know, like I said, put on the Question or Commissioner Gordon or something to help support him a little bit more. So those are some really good options, I think, for the team. But back to my original team there with the Batman, I think I prefer it that way myself. Some sideline options I want to go over really quickly for you as well. Of course, if you're lucky enough to have the Chase Scrappy Doo from Batman Team Up, he is a very powerful sideline active character that can come in when any one of your 60 point or less characters gets KO'd that share a keyword with him. He can come in on click number 3 or click number 1 if they have the Mystery Ink keyword, which this Robin does. So you probably want to save him specifically for if Robin gets KO'd, because he can come in and click number 1. But I mean, if he gets KO'd, even if they get KO'd potentially, or he gets KO'd, they all have detective. Anybody but him is 60 points or less, so he can come in for any of them on click number 3. So that's awesome. He gives you just another character. He has that special damage power that gives him close combat expert and outwit, so it gives us another outwit. He's another good close attacker. When he hits somebody, he can turn off their free actions or give them a mobile, which is pretty freaking insane as well. So for 25 points, you know, if you really wanted to, you could throw him on the team in place of like Robin or in place of Commissioner, because he's still just as good. There's a lot of, you know, amazing things he could do for the team just being on the team. But, you know, being on the sideline, having that sideline active is a little bit better. As far as sideline options for Batman and Superman, World's Finest, we have the super rare Batman from the same set. This guy is going to be your best bet, hands down, as far as Batman goes, in my opinion, just because, you know, he's 60 points, and he does, when they're KO'd, they come in on their last non-KO click and then heal 2. So he'd be right here with the charge Steel Energy. So he could immediately just charge Steel Energy and heal up to here, giving him a little bit extra life. Plus, he's going to have the Empower, Outwit, and Perplex, which is going to be super helpful. And once you heal up to this, you're going to have that at the end of your turn, place him in a square of hindering terrain within range and line of fire thing. So you have that to, you know, pull him out of the action as well. So he's definitely your best bet, I think, for their replacement when they get KO'd. But you also have the common Superman, who's also really, really good. For 50 points, you can just bring him in on the 50-point line. And if you guys don't know what he does, here's a quick look. He's got this awesome rally effect that can potentially take tokens off of your characters, and he's got this amazing special attack power that when he hits, he can give somebody immobile, or they can't use stop for the turn, which we're already trying to outwit stops and whatnot, so could be useful if they have too many of them, or like I said, if you went with one of the other options and you don't have him, bringing this dude in off the sideline for World's Finest could be pretty useful. He also has leadership, running shot, everything like that, so really solid figure for 50 points if you don't have the Batman, who's probably a little bit better in my opinion still. And then besides that, we also have, I would say, the main two mystery cards that you would want to use are going to be this Cat Burglar and the Man Who Laughs ones. Mainly the Man Who Laughs ones is just here because there's a lot of mastermind in the game. Some of it can't be outwitted, but we do have an answer to that anyway. So this is just nice that they can't use mastermind at all. You don't really have to waste an outwit on it if you get to that point. Not really a huge deal. This is the main one you'd want to use really because if you do get the hitting a character while you're in hindering train, getting a clue token once you get to 3, this suspect thing where when a friendly character attacks one or more equipped opposing characters, they get +1 attack and damage. That's huge. That's so useful on everybody on the team. It's just all friendly characters too, so that's going to include all of our little bystanders and everything. Just getting a free +1 attack and damage against equipped characters is going to be super amazing and helpful. And then, besides that, you got the usual, you can just throw some scrolls on there. You can throw some sentinels on there, whatever. Scrolls and sentinels are good to call in off the sideline. Just because they're commons, if you got the room for them, you might as well throw them on there. So yeah, that's a lot to go over. I wanted to do this one a little bit more in depth, so I wanted to cover a lot of the sideline and potential swap options if you don't have certain figures or don't want to use certain figures, some ways to build the team slightly differently. So let me know what you guys think of that. I also have recommendations for tarot cards. If you would like to know, I would definitely use the Ace of Cups because that gives you +1 to your Super Sense rolls. The High Priestess is another great one to just be able to re-roll single D6 rolls, any single D6. So it could be in an attack roll, it could be a breakaway roll, it could be your Super Sense roll, whatever. There's also Page of Wands, which lets you, when you use Outwit, you can choose 2 powers instead of 1. Then there's also the Queen of Wands, which whenever there's a single D6 roll, you can increase the result by +1, which is, really good for all the super senses and leadership and willpower and everything. As far as like the attack and movement ones, I haven't really nailed that down yet myself, but there's some good options, the Precision Strike one maybe for Batman Beyond, maybe the Penetrating Blast one for Rookie. I don't know. There's a lot of good options for tarot cards, but there's a few to get you started. That's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this more in-depth team build. Like I said, I wanted to add a little bit more in there for you guys. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below. Would you like this team? Would you play it? Would you change or do anything differently? I'd always love to hear your guys' thoughts on all that. But if you did enjoy it, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out a lot. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, make sure to check the links in the description for our Patreon so you can see your name here in the credits with all these other awesome people. And for as little as $1 a month, you also get access to our Patreon giveaways every month. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to check that out. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.